The urgency of the situation, why acting now is critical, observations from recent store visits, empty shelves and skyrocketing prices, an overview of the 15 everyday items disappearing from stores. Global coffee production challenges, Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, rising tariffs and shipping disruptions, the psychological impact of losing access to caffeine during crises, storage tips for instant coffee versus whole beans. Drought impacts on Mediterranean olive harvests, price hikes due to labor shortages and transportation bottlenecks, shelf life differences between refined and extra virgin varieties, alternative oils worth considering as backups. Dependence on international processing facilities, protein scarcity during emergencies, strategic stockpiling recommendations, nutritional benefits and versatility in meals. There's a lot of misconceptions about American-made frozen veggies. Many people don't realize that supply chain vulnerabilities can seriously affect imports. And when it comes to organic and specialty blends, these are often the first to disappear. So, what can you do? Well, DIY freezing techniques for homegrown produce might just be your best bet. Our reliance on imported battery components is, quite significant. And it's not just about flashlights. Think about critical uses like medical devices and radios. To stay prepared, rotation strategies can help prevent expiration. Plus, don't forget emergency alternatives like solar-powered chargers. They're a real game changer. Chemical supply chain disruptions can have a big impact on our daily lives. Imagine the hygiene implications when cleaning products vanish from the shelves. But don't worry, there are homemade cleaner recipes using common household staples. And of course, bulk purchasing strategies can help you avoid shortages. It's all about staying ahead of the game. There's a heavy reliance on China and India for pharmaceutical ingredients. We're starting to see signs of impending shortages like purchase limits and back orders. It's really important to prioritize essential medications. And, natural remedies can serve as temporary substitutes when necessary. The global sourcing of raw materials for supplements is quite complex. Reduced shipments can definitely impact our health routines. It's crucial to prioritize key vitamins based on personal needs. Also, don't forget to consider long-term storage options. Remember the sriracha shortage? There are lessons to be learned from that. Flavorful condiments can really boost morale. However, we need to be aware of price volatility and scarcity trends. And of course, there are always substitutes for those hard-to-find sauces. Flashback to 2020, lessons from past shortages, environmental factors driving pulp costs upward, eco-friendly alternatives to paper towels, smart stocking strategies to avoid hoarding. Hidden dependencies in bottled water production, risks posed by plastic shortages, importance of having a reliable water source, cost-effective hydration solutions. Wheat price inflation and its ripple effects, comfort food psychology during stressful times, creative meal ideas using pasta and ramen, shelf-stable alternatives for extended storage. Often overlooked, matches and lighters are essential items in any survival kit. However, manufacturing delays have recently affected their availability. It's important to know fire-starting methods that don't rely on matches. And, of course, always practice safe handling and storage to prevent accidents. Parental concerns over milk accessibility, powdered versus UHT milk pros and cons, recipes utilizing shelf-stable dairy options. Agricultural setbacks impacting global sugar supplies, stress baking culture exacerbating demand spikes, versatility of sugar in survival cooking, creative substitutions for baking essentials. Recap of key takeaways, encouragement to act responsibly without panic buying, final thoughts on preparedness and community resilience. Coffee has long been more than just a beverage. It's a lifeline for millions of people worldwide. Whether you're sipping your morning brew to kickstart productivity or relying on its stimulating properties during late-night shifts, coffee plays a crucial role in daily life. However, recent developments have cast a shadow over this beloved staple. Three major coffee-producing countries, Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia, are facing unprecedented challenges that threaten global supply chains. In Brazil, unpredictable weather patterns have wreaked havoc on coffee farms. Record-breaking droughts followed by torrential rains have damaged crops, reducing yields significantly. Meanwhile, Vietnam, the second-largest producer, is grappling with logistical nightmares at ports. Ships carrying coffee exports are delayed indefinitely, leaving warehouses overflowing and buyers desperate. In Colombia, labor shortages compounded by political instability further complicate matters. Together, these issues create what experts call the perfect storm for coffee lovers everywhere. Adding insult to injury, new tariffs imposed on imported goods have driven up costs across the board. For instance, Brazilian green coffee beans entering the United States now face hefty fees, which trickle down to consumers through inflated retail prices. Simultaneously, shipping containers, the backbone of international trade, are stuck in limbo. Ports around the globe report massive congestion, with some ships waiting weeks to dock. These delays mean fewer shipments reaching shelves, leaving grocers scrambling to restock their inventory. During my visit to a local grocery store last week, I spoke with a manager who revealed alarming insights. According to his system, incoming coffee shipments had dropped by nearly half compared to previous months. What struck me most was how quickly the cheaper brands disappeared. Customers instinctively grabbed budget-friendly options first, assuming they'd be replenished soon, but as days turned into weeks, those empty spots remained unfilled, a stark reminder of how fragile our food systems truly are. The disappearance of coffee isn't merely inconvenient, it carries profound psychological consequences. Imagine waking up one day only to find your favorite brand missing from the shelves. No matter how much money you're willing to spend, there's simply none available. For many, this scenario would trigger feelings of anxiety, frustration, and even despair. After all, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual, a comfort zone, and often a coping mechanism. Research shows that caffeine withdrawal can lead to headaches, fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. During chaotic times, such symptoms could severely impair decision-making abilities and overall well-being. Moreover, the absence of coffee serves as an early warning sign for broader supply chain issues. If something as ubiquitous as coffee starts vanishing, other essential goods likely won't be far behind. If you're serious about preparing for potential shortages, consider incorporating both instant coffee and whole beans into your stockpile. Each type offers unique advantages depending on your preferences and circumstances. Instant Coffee Pros requires no brewing equipment, dissolves instantly in hot water, occupies minimal space. Cons, often perceived as inferior in taste compared to freshly brewed coffee. To maximize shelf life, store instant coffee in airtight containers away from light, heat, and moisture. Vacuum-sealed bags or mylar pouches with oxygen absorbers work exceptionally well, extending usability for several years. Whole Beans Pro's superior flavor profile retains freshness longer if stored properly. Cons needs grinding and brewing tools, takes up more storage space. For optimal preservation, invest in high-quality vacuum-sealed jars or resealable bags designed specifically for coffee storage. Keep them in cool, dark locations like basements or pantries to slow oxidation and preserve aroma. Regardless of your choice, aim to rotate your stock regularly. Even the best preserved coffee eventually loses potency over time. By cycling older batches toward the front and newer ones toward the back, you ensure consistent quality and avoid waste. While traditional coffee remains a priority, exploring alternative sources of caffeine might prove invaluable during prolonged shortages. Herbal teas infused with yerba mate or guarana offer mild stimulant effects without requiring conventional brewing methods. Additionally, certain energy bars and supplements contain caffeine derived from natural sources, providing convenient pick-me-ups when brewing isn't feasible. Another creative option involves repurposing leftover coffee grounds. Instead of tossing them after brewing, dry them out and sprinkle them into baked goods or smoothies for an added boost. Though not as potent as fresh coffee, these hacks demonstrate resourcefulness in adversity. As we navigate increasingly uncertain times, securing a reliable coffee supply should rank high on every prepper's checklist. Beyond its role as a daily indulgence, coffee embodies resilience, a symbol of hope amid chaos. By understanding the factors contributing to current shortages and implementing smart storage strategies, you position yourself to weather whatever storms lie ahead.